So now Becky Lynch went for the manhandle slam. AJ turns it around. Tap out, tap out. Punk and AJ win.
Here's why fans think Becky Lynch betrayed AJ Lee's legacy. Wrestling fans love a good rivalry. We live for shocking betrayals, long simmering grudges, and dramatic twists that blur the line between reality and storyline. But sometimes, the tension isn't about a steel chair to the back or a surprise heel turn. Sometimes it's about something far more powerful, legacy. And that's exactly why the wrestling world has been buzzing about Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. Could one of WWE's biggest modern stars have betrayed the very legacy of the woman who helped make her success possible? Tonight, we're diving deep into the controversy, the interviews, the cryptic social media posts, and the passionate fan theories to uncover why so many people believe that Becky Lynch betrayed AJ Lee's legacy. Stay with me, because this story is bigger than two superstars. It's about how history is written in professional wrestling, and who gets the credit when the game finally changes. Let's rewind the clock. In 2012, AJ Lee was unlike anyone else in WWE's Divas division. While many of her peers were former models learning the ropes, AJ was a lifelong wrestling fan who brought authenticity to the ring. With her tomboy style, comic book energy, and razor-sharp promos, she became the face of a division that often struggled to be taken seriously. She wasn't just playing a part, AJ was the part. She could cut a promo that left the crowd hanging on every word, wrestle a technical match that made fans cheer for more than just entrances, and steal entire shows without needing a fraction of the production time the men received. Her famous, hype bombshell, promo, where she ripped into the so-called Total Divas, was a watershed moment. AJ said what many fans were thinking: the women deserved better. When she held the Divas Championship for a record-breaking 295 days, AJ wasn't just a champion, she was a statement. She carried the division on her back during an era when management still treated women's wrestling as filler. Every night she wrestled, she was fighting not just her opponent but the system itself. But in 2015, AJ Lee walked away. Officially, she cited injuries. Unofficially, fans knew there was more to it. Her husband CM Punk had famously clashed with WWE, and AJ herself had spent years pushing for change in a company that wasn't quite ready to listen. She left just as the whispers of a women's revolution began to grow louder. And that's where Becky Lynch enters the story. Becky debuted on the main roster in mid-2015 as part of the Divas Revolution. Alongside Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, she was marketed as one of the Four Horsewomen, the future of women's wrestling. The timing was perfect. While AJ Lee had been shouting into the void, WWE was finally ready to act. The company rebranded the division, scrapped the old butterfly-shaped Divas belt, and started calling the women superstars. To fans who followed AJ's career, this felt bittersweet. The revolution AJ fought for was finally happening, but without her. Becky and her peers were getting the spotlight, the main event matches, and the media attention AJ had begged for, all while AJ watched from the sidelines. At first, Becky seemed to honor AJ's influence. In early interviews, she credited pioneers like AJ, Paige, and Lita for inspiring her. She spoke about standing on the shoulders of the women who came before her. Fans appreciated that humility. After all, it was obvious that without AJ's battles, Becky and the Horsewomen might not have had a stage to shine on. But as Becky's star power exploded, the narrative began to shift. By 2018, Becky Lynch wasn't just a member of the women's roster, she was the man. After turning on Charlotte and adopting her last kicker persona, Becky became the hottest act in WWE, male or female. She main evented WrestleMania 35, won both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, and became the face of the entire company. Her promos took on a defiant tone. She declared herself the face of the women's revolution, the reason women were finally treated as equals. For casual fans, it was a catchy slogan. But for longtime followers of AJ Lee, those words stung. To them, Becky was rewriting history, claiming credit for a movement AJ had started years earlier when Becky was still wrestling in small independent promotions. Social media began to light up with debate. Was Becky celebrating the revolution or erasing the pioneers who had risked everything to spark it? Things really heated up after an interview in which Becky confidently said, "I didn't just ride the wave of the women's revolution, I created the wave." While she didn't name names, many fans immediately thought of AJ Lee. Comment sections and wrestling forums exploded. One fan tweeted, "Created the wave. AJ Lee literally fought for that wave when it wasn't cool. Don't erase her." The tweet went viral. AJ herself didn't stay completely silent. While she hasn't wrestled for WWE since 2015, she remains active on social media and in interviews. On a podcast, when asked about the current generation of women, AJ responded carefully but pointedly. "I'm proud of how far the division has come. I just hope people remember that doors don't open themselves, someone has to kick them down first." She didn't say Becky's name. She didn't have to. Fans connected the dots immediately. AJ's quote spread across Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit, with headlines screaming that she had called out Becky Lynch. Becky, never one to shy away from a verbal jab, added fuel to the fire. During a backstage segment after a Monday Night Raw, she said, "Some of us didn't wait for permission. We didn't just knock, we took the door off its hinges." Again, no names, but the implication was crystal clear. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't just about who was the better wrestler. It was about who owned the revolution. Was it AJ Lee, the woman who fought in a hostile environment and demanded better? Or was it Becky Lynch, the woman who finally made the revolution undeniable by becoming a mainstream star? The fan theories only grew wilder. Some speculated that Becky intentionally avoided mentioning AJ in her Hall of Fame tributes to earlier pioneers like Trish Stratus and Lita. Others noticed that when WWE aired video packages about the evolution of women's wrestling, AJ's contributions were often glossed over or reduced to quick clips. Was this Becky's influence? Probably not, but perception is powerful, and fans love a good conspiracy. Adding another layer of intrigue was CM Punk. Punk's rocky history with WWE is no secret, and his marriage to AJ keeps her connected to the wrestling conversation. Punk has occasionally praised Becky in interviews, calling her one of the best in the world, but he has also criticized WWE for how they treated AJ. Fans wondered if Becky's rise to become Vince McMahon's top female star might feel, to AJ and Punk, like a painful reminder of the battles they fought and the bridges they burned. From Becky's perspective, the situation might be far less dramatic. Becky has repeatedly said that she respects the women who came before her, and she's careful to credit trailblazers like Trish Stratus, Lita, and Chyna. But AJ Lee, Becky rarely mentions her by name. Whether that's an intentional omission or simply a quirk of WWE's media machine is up for debate. And that's the heart of this controversy. Wrestling is a business where perception is everything. Becky doesn't have to openly disrespect AJ for fans to feel like a betrayal has occurred. When history is written by those in the spotlight, silence can speak louder than any insult. Think about it. AJ Lee risked her career by speaking out during the Divas era. She demanded longer matches, more complex storylines, and equal treatment. She was punished at times, ignored at others, but she kept pushing. Without her